And we are back, Bryan Broaddus. We are doing all right. Thanks everybody for asking. People saw us together on social medias. We'll let you know at some point. We will let you know why we took that picture and showed everybody that Bryan Broaddus and Voch are standing next to each other. Big things popping, okay? Be sure to follow me on the socials. Be sure to follow Bryan Broaddus on the social. Bryn Broaddus. The Cowboys about to get on a plane at the beginning of next week. And they about to fly to Oxnard to do the, yearly thing that they do out there, Bryan. First practice is the 25th, press conference 24th. Just want to housekeep everybody on that. So, Bryan, we got one last game, one last this or that, one last, and this is what I call it, Bryan. I need a phenomenal camp from this or that. You know what I'm saying? One of those camps to where, man, this dude, that's why he's playing so good this year. He had a phenomenal camp. He's running around, he's tearing up the preseason games. That's why he's doing so well this year, because it started with this phenomenal camp. Bryan Broaddus, who do you want to have a phenomenal camp? Like a Tyler Guyton or Mazi Smith?
Well, right off the jump.
Hell yeah. And then watch this, make it harder. The other dude that you don't pick is just going to have the camp that you thought they was going to have, right? Oh, well, just a regular Tyler Guyton camp. That's cool. Oh, well, Mazi, I just want you to work hard. If you pick Tyler Guyton, Mazi will just have a regular work hard camp. If Mazi's phenomenal, Tyler Guyton is just going to learn the ropes on the way. He may be cool, but he's just going to learn the ropes slowly. Who's having a phenomenal camp, Guyton or Mazi?
You're going to hate my answer.
All right.
I need Mazi Smith to be great.
I hate that answer.
I know. I knew you would. Couple of old offensive linemen talking it out here, but my reasoning.
Yeah.
I don't have anybody else right now behind Mazi Smith that I trust. If Tyler Guyton doesn't work out, we've talked about this. Would they move Tyler Smith?
Yeah.
That's my safety net right now, Voch. That's my safety net. I don't have a safety net behind. And we had Todd Archer on 105.3 The Fan yesterday on the G-Bag Nation. And Archer hinted that the Cowboys aren't done with their defensive tackle room. So he's hearing something to say that. And that gives me some hope that maybe there is a veteran guy out there that they really, really like that can maybe come in and be what we need him to be. I need Mazi Smith. I think that Mazi Smith's, I think his ability, I think the mental toughness, I think all these things are in question right now. And I need him to play at a very, very high level, not only for my defensive tackle group, my defense, my one techniques. I need him to be the guy that people believed that he was coming out of Michigan. I think with Guyton, I think if I had to fall back, I've got some options. I don't know what all my options are with Mazi, even though Todd Archer, who's very, very good at this, is telling me they're looking at some people right now. So I think there's more on the line for Mazi Smith than there is for Tyler Guyton.
The only disagreement I have with you, Bryan, is I don't think that they're going to move Tyler at all.
I don't think they are either, but I don't have another answer. I don't have another answer defensive tackle right now. I mean, unless we want to play, the rookie, and that's a possibility.
Sure.
Maybe if you look at the situation and you say, Justin Rogers he looks damn good in camp, Voch. You and I are doing shows every night from camp.
Yeah.
Boy, he looks good. I don't know. I mean, that's my hope right now, that he looks good. Mm-hmm. Chumadoga is not a great option right now for me. And that scares me.
Sure.
But I think if push came to shove, they would move Tyler Smith. But push has to come to shove. And I don't know. I think if you tell me that Guyton is good and Mazi's great, I'd take that right now. But that's because I feel like that if Mazi, okay, put it this way. What if Mazi looks good and Guyton looks okay?
I think I can live.
I could live with that. Maybe I can live with that.
Maybe because 4 is used to having okay at left tackle, but
he is he is.
But what if I'm sick of okay at left? Like, can we live?
You drafted to be better than okay.
Yeah.
And let's be honest. Tyron Smith surprised me at how well he was able to play and how healthy he was able to stay.
Sure.
That was surprising to me. Now, when he was out of the lineup, it was clear that Chuma Doga was not a good answer there. So what do? They draft a kid to start at left tackle for them. And Archer brought this up yesterday, and I totally agree with him on this one. I need to see Tyler Guyton from the jump. Mm-hmm. I don't care if Chuma Doga is veteran guy. When they line up and take the first rep on Thursday or Friday, whenever that day is, I need to see Tyler Guyton at left tackle. I don't have time for Chuma Adoga and let's work this and see if he could be. I understand there's going to be a battle at the center. Mm-hmm. I get it. They're not going to let Brock Hoffman. They're not going to let Brock Hoffman just go away. But they need to have Tyler Guyton immediately with the ones at left tackle when camp opens up. If they don't, I'll have some questions.
Can I change your mind?
Probably.
Strength of schedule, right? Can I just change your mind if I say the dudes that Tyler Guyton have to see this season are way tougher than the guards that Mazi has to run into? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, what if I present that to you? Like, if we get to camp, right, and Mazi gets a good rep versus Tyler Smith, right?
Right.
I'm going, all right, cool. That's impressive.
Right.
If Guyton gets good reps versus Micah Parsons, we're having shows overreacting, Bryan Broaddus. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm overreacting at that point because it's gonna be a lot of dudes on their schedule that look like Tyler, that look like Parsons, right? And if I could change your mind, try to change your mind one more time, right?
Yeah.
In the long term, isn't the value of the left tackle more important?
No question.
You know what I'm saying?
No question. But they've drafted both these kids in the first round.
That's the problem. Yeah.
About the same spot too.
Yep.
By the way. I'll say this. I think Tyler Guyton's good is better than Mazi Smith's good.
Mm. Yeah.
And if you gave me a choice of one or the other, I think that to me, I need Mazi to be great. I do. I just know this defense. I think for the defense as a whole, they need to know that they can get really good play from him. Mm-hmm. I expect Guyton. Now, I'll say this about Guyton, and we've talked about this a bunch on our program. There's going to be a big learning curve for Guyton. There's going to be a big learning curve. Mm-hmm. And even those good reps against Micah Parsons might mean 2 or 3 bad reps against somebody else. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Take your pick, Tyrus Wheat, somebody like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I just see Mazi Smith getting dominated throughout the practices and not making any plays, I think that'll do my heart far worse than it will what that left tackle might do.
I feel you, bro.
I can't change your mind. I know that. Tell me why I'm wrong, because I'm surely willing to listen.
Well, I feel like,
and you're right about the importance of the position.
Sure.
You're right.
I feel like just as easily as we're having this conversation saying, oh, John Machota said, Will McClay said that somebody said that we can go find a one tech, right? It's proven we can find some 7th round dude to go fit an A gap. We can find an undrafted dude that can go sit in A gap and do the job. Find me the left tackles out here. You know what I mean? That's the only thing that's kind of making me, hey, bro, if I got a good left tackle, I have a good left tackle for a long time. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that makes me feel that way about it. And hey, man, Quentin Bohanna can do the job. You know what I'm saying? Antoine Woods can do the job. A Justin Hamilton type character can do the job. Shouts out to Natchez. They can do the job, right?
Right.
Chuma Doga can't do the job. And now, good luck finding somebody on the market that can do the job better than Chuma. Now, can they do it better than Guyton? You know what I mean? I think if you seal up left tackle, your quarterback could be better. And it's just you solve a problem that's so tough to find solutions to. I can find a fat dude to plug a gap. Eagles do it all the time.
And the Eagles have drafted some high defensive tackles though too, bro.
Sure, just like us. Well, not like us. Pardon me, because they go top 10 with theirs, but
they go top 10 with theirs. I'm just going to tell you,
sure,
and it ain't going to happen. But in my mind, if push came to shove, I know I could play Tyler Smith at left tackle.
That's real talk.
And I know I could put BB or TJ Bass inside
and play guard for you.
And play guard.
That's fair. That's fair, Bryan Broaddus.
It's not fair. It's not fair because you don't agree with it at all.
You're right, but it's a fair point.
But see, this is where you're smarter than me. This is where you're smarter than me. You know damn good and well they won't move Tyler Smith.
They're not.
That they'll play Chuma Doga. And I want to believe that somebody in that organization is smart enough to tell Mike McCarthy and Mike Solari and Brian Schottenheimer that, listen, our best chance to win, if we're not getting the best out of Guyton, is to move Tyler Smith and to play this way until Guyton develops. Somebody's got to be smart enough in that organization to say that, hey, we always talk about playing the best five. Yeah. That's my argument. If I was, and I'd get probably fired once again for standing up in a meeting and saying that. But we really playing our best five if we continue to play Chuma Doga at left tackle. We're not. Let's not act like we are. But coaches will do that. Front office guys will do that. It's a shame, but it's the truth.
Man, boy, I'm looking at my wide receiver groups. I got a couple of dudes.
Man, you just took all my energy on that first question.
That's what I do here, buddy.
That sucked.
That's what I do here.
No, that, you know what? And I'm looking forward to hearing the people who listen to our show.
Sure.
And there's a lot of great folks out there that like to comment on things that we talk about. Sure. I'd love to hear your comments. If you want to reach out to Voch or I on Twitter, please do, and tell me, hey, Broaddus, I agree with you, or Broaddus, Voch is right here. You need your left tackle. I'd love to hear the feedback from this one.
We would love to hear from y'all. Comments, please. Twitter, please.
Yeah.
Man, Bryan Broaddus, man, I'm looking at my
receivers.
I'm looking at my wide receiver group, man. Uh-huh. Boy, I got a stud and a fast veteran. I can sure use one more guy. Uh-huh. Man, Bryan, I'm looking at my DB group over there. I got an all-pro. Yeah. I got another one that's recovering from an ACL, but he's all-pro when he's ready. We just don't know what that is.
He's probably going to start your practices on PUP, from what I've been told.
That's how life works. Jordan Lewis over there, he cool. Yeah. Gilmore on the market, but we ain't got him.
Yeah.
Boy, Bryan, on both sides of the ball, we could sure use an emerging receiver. And boy, can we use an emerging young cornerback. Bryan Broaddus, Voch says this. Uh-huh. Who would you like to have a phenomenal camp? Jalen Tolbert or Eric Scott?
Oh, wow.
Phenomenal camp from Jalen Tolbert or Eric Scott.
Give me Tolbert. And I think give me Tolbert because I really want I want Tolbert to live up to what he was coming out of South Alabama. I liked Eric Scott's tape at Southern Mississippi. What do you always say about Southern Mississippi? Don't you have a little catchphrase you say?
To the top. To
the top. There you go. I I need Tolbert to step up. I do. But I want to see him. I want to see the battle with him and Brooks. Hell, I want to see Tolbert battle Cooks is what I want to see. And he's going to get an opportunity because I don't think we're signing CeeDee Lamb anytime soon. Probably a week to 10 days, and we'll kind of get that maybe lined up. But I need Tolbert to really step up. And I want him to battle Cooks, and I want him to battle Brooks, both. And I want it to be clear that, like, listen, we might be talking about this guy as a 3, but he looks like a legitimate 2 possibly. So give me, I think long term, give me Brooks, or excuse me, give me Tolbert over Scott.
Boy, I bet your answer would be different if we had to play the Seahawks week 1 and DK Metcalf out there and Deron Bland got to chase him around, huh? Gilmore not here to help out with that, huh? How would you? So we got a limping all-pro cornerback 1, and you want to put 3 receivers in the room, don't you, Brian? That what you want to do. We got Deron Bland, Jordan Lewis, and a regular. Whoever you want to go back to cornerback 2 days, cornerback 2 getting whooped, but you want 3 receivers, huh, right, bro?
I'm gonna tell you what. I'll tell you what. I'll trump your. If you now, let me tell you this. If you told me, if you instead of put Eric Scott in there, and you said Kalen Carson, I might say Kalen Carson.
Let's do it and tell me why. It ain't Eric Scott. Brian, I need a phenomenal camp from Jalen Tolbert or Kalen Carson. Why is it Kalen Carson?
It's Kalen Carson because that maybe allow me to put Bland back in the slot. You know, take Jordan Lewis and I can maybe play him at nickel or, you know, all these roles that you really love. When I always talk about Jordan Lewis, like, Dan Broaddus, why do you keep living back that Saints game? You know?
Yeah.
You will. Yeah, I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Every time you bring up Jordan Lewis,
Alvin Kamara.
You're going, yeah. How about that Saints game 7 years ago when he was
old?
Yeah. Don't get that smirk on your face. I see what you're doing right now.
So Brian, no,
Kalen Carson. It might allow me to put Bland in his more natural position. Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
But could Eric Scott do that?
Sure.
I don't think Eric Scott's as good as Kalen Carson. That's my opinion.
But what if in this example we can fairy dust somebody into being like, I feel like we need one more corner. So whether it's Eric Scott or Kalen Carson, cool, whatever, whoever.
Why are you being so damn difficult today?
Hey man, cause we ain't got nothing else to talk about. It's damn July. It's July 19th.
Yeah.
If we had one of those dudes and they out there giving Brandon Cooks a hard time. And they giving all, you know, Jalen Tolbert, Brooks a hard, and then CeeDee Lamb signs his contract and he walks in to get a little bit of practice in. And what if one of those characters go out there and give CeeDee Lamb? It ain't gonna happen. But what if they go and give CeeDee Lamb a hard? I could really use a corner that I can trust right now. And the Cowboys got trust issues with cornerback right now. That's all I'm saying. And honestly, Brian, Voch says this: wouldn't a phenomenal Jalen Tolbert be like a CeeDee Lamb type character anyway? A move around dude?
Yeah.
A slot dude. I want to put Jalen Tolbert as full-time slot guy so bad, but I can't because that's what CeeDee Lamb is. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
But either way, I would love to have a corner that could just come in and just be like, hey man, whether Diggs is ready or not. Eric Scott just went out there in preseason and shut down the Puka Nacua at the damn Eric Scott gave Puka Nacua problems at the Rams camp, Brian, bro. That's what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I would love to have a corner that can come in and do that. Cause frankly, for the Cowboys, it's hard to find competent corners. We got to go find and pay people. I know we got 2 of them that's all pros that we drafted, but besides those guys, like we've been missing on them. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got much faith in Nashawn Wright. That's why I ain't mentioned his name. Eric Scott, Kalen Carson's probably going to be one of those guys.
I see what you're doing. And you're making it tough on me, but I'll say this.
Sure.
What's your confidence running the football this year?
Running the football?
running the football.
Boy, I wish I had Phil Collins up here so I could hit the button and point. I wish I had Phil Collins up. I don't think I think it's gonna be just like Bryan Broaddus. It's gonna be just like
our next gig. Phil Collins is making the trip. By the way,
hey man, we got to man.
He's going, and he's wherever we're going. Phil Collins is going to be there. Get ready. Maybe even a bigger picture than the one you got.
Hey, that'll be fantastic to have that in either one of them joints.
Oh no! Hey, we got space for Phil Collins. We're gonna find us some space for Phil Collins.
My goodness, that's fire. But Brian, Phil Collins
maybe the whole back wall of your studio is gonna be Phil Collins' face.
Brian, don't tell people what we doing. It's too soon. Don't tell people what we doing.
I know.
But I'm excited. But Phil Collins' face. Damn it! It's gonna be just we gonna try to run the ball. We're gonna make attempts to run the ball. It's gonna be like the Jets game where we got 25 carries trying to run the ball, but we end up with 70 yards. You know what I'm saying? And by the end of the year, we're gonna go, this ain't working. Dak, please. And we're gonna go back to throwing the ball 40 times a game.
Do we need receivers to do this? Because we can't run the ball?
It depends on how you feel about 12 and 22 personnel. It depends on how you feel about 12, 21, and 22 personnel. If you can find some more competent tight end help, we could do it like the old school. If Hunter Lipke starts to catching the football from the fullback spot, from the wing spot out of nowhere, then we can get a little busy, and maybe we wouldn't need 3 receivers. You know what I'm saying? If you look at the Eagles, they throw the ball to Brown, Smith, and Goddard. They don't throw to nobody else. If we gotta live life like that, I can do it. I can do that.
Yeah, I can say my confidence meter of running the football, not great right now. My confidence that the poor quarterback's going to have to throw the ball 35 to 40 times a game, pretty confident that's going to happen. Pretty confident. So I better get as many of those weapons out there as I can. You know, but like I said, you're not wrong about the cornerback play. Like I could say, I think when this thing starts out, Diggs is going to be standing over there next to you and I. But, maybe that's good. Bring him back slowly, let him get involved, and go from there.
Man, Bryan Broaddus, somebody found something.
I'm getting sick of this show, by the way, right now.
That's what it's for.
I'm sick of you.
We are 22 minutes in, and we only talked about 2 matchups. Bryan Broaddus, Voch says this.
Yeah.
I'm
tired of Voch says this already.
Somebody has discovered something incredibly embarrassing and incriminating on Mike McCarthy. And they said, this video will never see the light of day if we get more one-on-ones. O-line versus D-line one-on-ones at practice. Mike McCarthy said, all right, cool, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, Bryan Broaddus calling Voch, say, man, Voch, for some reason, we having one-on-ones 3 times a day for whatever reason.
I take one-on-one for 3 minutes if they would just give it to me. Yeah.
Brian, Mike McCarthy getting blackmailed. We get 10 minutes of one-on-ones all day, every day, Brian.
Yes.
And Bryan Broaddus hit me up and says, Voch, Sam Williams and Terrence Steele are having some battles out there. Boy, they going one-on-one a lot since Mike McCarthy got blackmailed by them TMZ people. Bryan Broaddus, Voch says this, since you're sick of it. Voch says this, I'll say it again. Voch says this. Who needs to have a phenomenal camp? Terrence Steele or Sam Williams?
Man, I see what you're doing here, and I do appreciate and I do respect it.
Yes, sir.
Sam Williams.
Now hold on now, Brian. So look, Mazi and Terrence Steele can't get. I mean, Tyler Guyton and Terrence Steele can't get no love in here. That's 2 tackles now, Brian. What's going on?
You know what? I knew you were going to say this. I think if I could get Sam Williams to play to his ability, the flashes that we've seen from Sam Williams. Play mistake-free football, help you get off the field on 3rd down, create pressures, be better in the run game. I have some questions about the right end. And if I can get Sam Williams to play with some consistency, maybe I can use Nealon more inside and help with the 3 technique stuff. So, because I don't really trust Golston playing as a backup 3 to Osa. I'm doing all I can to keep Nealon at one position. Man, I do not want him to go into the abyss of, well, he's playing 3, he's playing edge, he's not really rushing the passer, or he's trying to rush the passer, he doesn't have great technique, he needs to learn technique. You know, if Sam Williams could take over the right end job and not give that away, maybe that will allow you to keep Nealon at one spot. And that's my hope, because the minute you start moving him around, I think he becomes Golston. And then we start to talk about, well, because I don't think he has quick twitch. I don't think he has bend. I think he needs to learn how to be a pass rusher. But if I keep moving him around, I think putting him inside might be the best thing for him. Now, we'll see with Fehoko. They talk about Fehoko and he could be the 3. I've yet to see that. But I kind of feel like a good Steele will be good enough. But a great Sam Williams will help me in the long run with other positions, but it also helped me with Parsons, and it'll also help me with Tank. So I'm going to take Sam Williams on that one.
Having an additional pass rusher will definitely help the whole party. And this is actually a tough one for me, Brian.
Is it really?
Hell yeah. When I was putting this list together, and you know, I like to come up with my own answers.
I know you do. I know you do. That's what makes the show fun. You come up with your own answers.
It's kind of tough for me because you said this. Bryan Broaddus said this.
Yeah.
I can live with a good Terrence Steele.
Yeah.
I feel like I can too, Brian, but I remember when Terrence was great. When Terrence and Zach Martin are comboing the 3-tech to the backside linebacker, my goodness. And the run game was a little better because of that, Bryan Broaddus.
It was. It absolutely was.
And I'm doing this series on my channel where I'm just examining the run game, you know, for all the games from last year. And you know, besides some running back vision issues, but if the offensive line was just a tad bit more cohesive and a little less mistake making and a little better on our combos, just like fundamentals. So, hey, don't lead to go to linebacker so early. You're doing X, Y, Z. I feel like your run game will probably be a little better. And if your run game is better, everything is better. And I just remember how good Terrence Steele was when he was trying to get his money. Terrence was really good. Physical. Texas Tech didn't even run the ball, Bryan Broaddus. Where he learned how to run block like this? That's what I was saying. And I would love to get those days back. Now, a part of me that'll make me feel like, hey, I'm more Terrence Steele side than the Sam Williams side. Hey, you got DeMarcus Lawrence. You got Micah Parsons. You just drafted a young kid in Marshawn Nealon. But there's no limit on pass rushes. If you got 3 or 4 of them, you're most likely a Super Bowl team. You know what I'm saying? Like if you have 3 or 4 pass rushes you feel really good about. If we get to camp Bryan Broaddus and Sam Williams is winning more, he's winning more of those battles than he's losing, I feel really good about that.
Yeah.
Because like you said, now I can move Parsons, I can move Neal, I can move Tank if I want to.
Right.
It's just something in the back of my mind that's constantly reminding me of those good old days of when Terrence was great. But I might take you on that Sam Williams also.
Well, thank you very much for being with us today. We leave on a positive note.
Hey, this is the first time we've agreed.
If you're interested in sponsoring, reach out to Voch. Either one of us would be happy to take you on board.
I just feel like when Kiffin, Nolan, and Quinn got here, they got a lot of signings. They got a lot of dudes to help those guys out. Signings and draft picks. I feel like when Zimmer gets here, he gets the dudes that's been here, and we go draft a bunch of offensive linemen. You know what I mean? He got Marshawn, of course, linebacker, of course, Louisville. But, you know, where's the signings for him? Go and get his pass rush. He just doesn't have a whole bunch of those dudes. Zimmer is more so counting on dudes to just kind of step up. And I would love for Sam to not be a knucklehead and to give us more of those games that he had versus the Lions where he's making 3 stuffs, 2 sacks, and a body slam, you know?
Yeah, you know what? If we could get Sam Williams to be David Irving,
oh yeah, Oh man.
And in a way where David Irving, we talk about him in a way of, well, damn, he plays 20 plays. He's got 4 tackles, 3 of them behind the line of scrimmage. He's forced to fumble. I mean, I've been waiting. Sam Williams and Tolbert are the 2 guys, and you brought both of them up today, back-to-back picks. I've been waiting for both those guys to be great. That's been my hope. And I go into this camp once again hopeful that that's the case.
Brian, I'll never forget it, man. David Irvin called into the radio, Ben and Skin one time, right? And he was actually appalled. Y'all can go find it. This is on the internet. It's on the podcast apps. He was appalled that Jason Garrett really wanted him to work hard. Like, he got on the radio while everybody was listening. We're like, yeah, man, and coach wanted me to do extra after practice. I'm like, why? I'm like, damn. It's really bad. It's really bad with that kid.
I swear to God, you and I are going to be sitting at a crawfish boil one day, and you're going to ask me, you're going to go, who was the best player that had the most talent that just kind of gave it all away?
Yeah.
David Irvin's my guy every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time. He everything about his game for defensive linemen was awesome. Everything off the field about him was chaos. And that's why you kind of put up with him, because you knew on the field he was going to be special. But, off the field stuff and I'm not against anything he's done. It's just he chose other paths, and that's what humans are allowed to do. We're allowed to choose our directions sometimes, and I felt like that he kind of chose the wrong one for him. I wish he wouldn't have done that.
Yeah. Man, Bryan Broaddus, me, you, the coaches, the front office, we're all sitting together.
Yeah.
Drinking and evaluating how this preseason went.
Okay.
Boy, we're evaluating the camp practices, and we can't evaluate quarterback and running back like we really want to. We need some preseason games to evaluate them. And boy, Brian, 3 games went past, and we looking at the numbers, and we go, boy, Bryan Broaddus. I look over at you and I say, well, Brian, on one side of this plate in 3 preseason games, Trey Lance done threw for 900 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Yep.
We got a quarterback, but that's what Trey Lance did. 900 yards and 5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
We ain't really got a running back, though, Broaddus. At all. But on this other plate, Deuce Vaughn in 3 games then rushed for 320 yards, then caught 150 receiving and 5 touchdowns combined. Brian, which one of these preseasons would you rather have? Trey Lance, 905 touchdowns, Deuce Vaughn, 450 total yards, 6 touchdowns. We got a quarterback. We ain't got no running backs. I think that's important.
That's called leading the witness, is what you just did.
I ain't doing shit. I ain't doing nothing. I just asked you which one of these you want, bro. I ain't leading nothing. I just asked you what you want.
Give me the runner.
Why, Brian? We got 3 quarterbacks on 1-year deals, man. Why not?
I'll tell you what.
We could trade Trey Lance, get some picks after them 900. What's going on? What?
You know what? You just told me that Trey Lance had a really good preseason.
Phenomenal one.
Phenomenal preseason.
He had 3 Will Grier games.
Okay. 3. He's beaten the Rams, the Raiders,
beat the hell out of
Chargers, and the Chargers. He's beat them all.
Yep. And to keep it realistic, Trey Lance also rushed for like 70 yards. So go ahead. Because he's going to run a lot. He rushed for 70 yards.
Okay. You just answered my question. Trey Lance had a phenomenal preseason. And I now know that. But I got no damn running game. But now I do, because I got Deuce Vaughn. Deuce Vaughn just opened my eyes.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take the fact that I'm going to play with Dak Prescott this year. And I know in my back pocket that Trey Lance showed me something.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep that. I'm going to remember that. I'm going to work with that all year, and likely make him the backup quarterback and hope that I don't have to use him. But I know that he had a phenomenal preseason. it's going to make my decision in 2025 maybe a little easier. Todd Archer said something again. Todd's very smart. You know this. Todd says there's Dallas. The pressure really for them to sign or do anything with Dak Prescott doesn't come until the 13th of March. And that's when the new league year starts. Up until then, you can negotiate with him, talk to him, do all these things. So I'm riding this thing. If they don't get anything done, I'm just going to go ahead and ride it, knowing that I could very well lose him. But I also know that Trey Lance had a phenomenal preseason, and I'm going to work on that going forward. I'm going to name him the second quarterback every week. If something happens to Dak, he's going to play immediately. I have no confidence in my running game right now. None. But all of a sudden, Deuce Vaughn showed up, and he had a Barry Sanders-like preseason. And he's looked good in practice and all those. He's had an excellent camp. Give me the runner, but knowing that I might have the quarterback situation taken care of in the future.
See, this really.
I'll take the runner now.
Yeah,
is what I'll take.
And honestly, this is bigger than just, quarterback versus running back. This is, all right, are we trying to win this season, or are we trying to set ourselves up to be great later on, Right, and if Trey Lance gives you something, now we're talking about like draft picks, whether that be, whoever, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I can move Trey. Maybe you can move 4. All right, maybe you sign and trade him. I don't know. But, I was hoping, I don't know if I text you about it. I was texting Will Steele about it last year, but I was like, in some of these blowout games, I would love to see Trey Lance play instead of Cooper Rush. Yeah. So I would love for Rush to be inactive when we go into some of these games where we're probably going to beat the hell out of some of these teams, man. Because I just need to know. I have no clue what I have in Lance. And look, Lance could be a Jordan Love type character where he got to sit down until he's 27 and then he's 28, 27, and then he just shows up and just beats us in the damn playoffs and looks phenomenal. Maybe that's the case. I just need to see something. Can
I throw something at you real quick?
Por favor.
I'm going to ask you this question.
See how we play.
If the Cowboys do struggle this year, we get to December, injuries have happened, the offense doesn't move, defense really not getting it done. It looks like to me that maybe the whole thing is going to turn over. If you're Jerry Jones, do you ask Mike McCarthy to play Trey Lance the last month of the season?
I think Dak's a really mentally tough dude.
Yeah.
I don't think he would be affected by some gymnastics here.
Yeah.
If it looks horrific.
If it's horrific and you're moving on from the quarterback.
Well, see, here was my angle.
Okay.
I wasn't going to move on from the quarterback. I'm just auditioning Trey Lance to, hey, everybody, look what we got. You know what I mean? Like, if it's over with, I'm playing Trey Lance with Bryan Broaddus. Let me make it more difficult for you. What if Trey Lance goes on this Tony's hurt, Dak Prescott makes a run? What if the season looks ridiculous and Trey Lance goes on a streak and sneaks into the playoffs? That makes this thing all the more weird. It makes it all the more weird, Brian. And I would try. I don't want to get into quarterback politics with nobody. I would rather just have one dude and we live with it. But this is the bed that the Jones is made for us.
We're just doing our podcast show. Hey, we're doing fine. That's the name of the show. Hey, we're doing fine. But I wonder. You have to.
You at least have to think about the young dude in that.
And if you're Mike McCarthy, how do you take that? How do you take that if you're in the last year of your deal, you're trying to get re-signed, but you can kind of see the writing on the wall.
Mike ain't gonna be here, man. Mike ain't gonna be here.
That's what I'm saying. Mike ain't gonna be here. So all of a sudden, you're Jerry Jones. Do you go into Mike McCarthy or Will McClay or Stephen Jones, go into Mike and say, listen, the season's going nowhere. We're not going to re-sign Dak. Play Trey Lance.
If that's the case, just fire Mike McCarthy right there.
Yeah,
fire
and make Mike Zimmer
Well, Al Harris the assistant right now, so it'll be somebody, Brian. If this is a horrid season, and we down 10 wins in week 14, when we 4-10, fire Mike McCarthy,
Right.
You got to sit Dak at that point, play Trey the rest of the way, see what you got. If Al Harris can rally the guys and just restart this thing next year, man. If that's the case, Mike McCarthy wouldn't have a say in this thing because he'll be gone.
Yeah, you just go ahead and move on from McCarthy.
Yeah.
And all this is really predicated on you would not do this if you had Dak Prescott signed.
Mm-hmm.
You let Dak play it out.
Sure.
You let Dak play it out.
Yeah.
But if he's not signed, then you would say, wait a minute. Trey Lance had a really good preseason. Now we want to see him play some regular season games. I don't see it, but that's the kind of that's something that you would if you said if you're 4-10, if you're 4-10 going nowhere, do you say, all right, coach is not going to be here, quarterback's likely not going to get re-signed. We got to figure out if we're going to is Trey Lance the guy that's going to are we going to pay Trey Lance $20 million to be the quarterback going forward?
Mm-hmm.
And if Trey Lance doesn't do well, then you know you're going to have a high draft pick to begin with and now start evaluating the quarterbacks in the league.
Yep.
Start evaluating the guys to various places and figure it out from that point. But man, this could be we get to December, and if it's not going well, this could be a lot of things going. You and I are going to then talk about, all right, we're not going anywhere. Let's play Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Let's go. See what else we got. It's where I think it's going to go. If in fact it's a 4-10 campaign. That
was a good one right there. I got 2 quick hits. We only got 5 minutes. 4.
All right.
We got 2 quick hits here. Luke Schoonmaker, Maris Louisville, phenomenal camp.
I need Luke Schoonmaker to be really good, and that's personal. I'm making that personal.
Mm-hmm.
I think Louisville is going to be fine. I need Luke Schoonmaker and Mazi Smith gone to the same school. They're the same guy, except, like I say, I think maybe Luke Schoonmaker might be a little bit mentally, a little bit tougher. But I need Luke Schoonmaker. If I'm going to talk about 12 personnel like you want to play 12 personnel, I need Luke Schoonmaker and Ferguson to be outstanding.
And
Louisville, I think Louisville can be really good. I'm with you though on this one. I said it yesterday on the radio. I was talking to somebody last night about it. I believe I'm looking at Louisville and I'm thinking, there's my running back. That was my running back right there.
Yeah.
I'm willing to give him a chance though, because A, talking to people I really, really trust, defensive coordinator. B, 3 practices, I see an instinctual type of a player. So I'm willing to give him a chance. He can make me look bad about my take about a running back at that spot. But I think he's going to be okay. But I need Luke Schoonmaker to be the kid at Michigan that I saw 2 years ago.
I'm already kind of moving on from Luke because I think
I figured you were, and a lot of people have.
I think there's a couple dudes in that room that could do his job right now.
I made this personal.
Yeah.
I made, and you picked 2 players for me that I've made personal.
Mm-hmm.
Because Louisville to me is Lloyd from USC, the running back.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite players.
That's why I need Louisville to be great. We passed on running back. I need you to justify that. That's why I need Louisville to be great.
You just convinced me that Deuce Vaughn was Barry Sanders in preseason.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? That is one of those ones that I'm going to look at, but I need Luke Schoonmaker to be really good.
Last one, Brian. I got 2 defensive players, but there's only 1 sheriff in town. Who's gonna be the better, or who do you want to have the better defensive performance, preseason games, training camp, all that? Who gonna show up just whooping people, running around? Chauncey Golston or DeMarvin Overshown?
Overshown. Overshown.
Now Chauncey's your backup 3 tech now.
Yeah, but he's also too. If I can get Sam Williams to play well, that maybe I can get Nealon as a 3, which I think would put him closer to the ball. Which would a 3 technique with a little power, a little upfield maybe from him. I don't think he's got great pass rush moves, but I've been waiting for Golston for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I've been waiting. If Golston would have left and gone to the Commanders and Fowler would have stayed, I would have probably been okay, or something crazy like that. I mean, I know Golston was not going to go anywhere, but I've been waiting for him, and I thought he was a much better player at Iowa than he is right now. So I'd like for him to be better. I'd like for him to be good. I'd like for him just to be good.
Sure.
But that's that hope, right? I think that train's at the station for me right now, and the whistle's blowing. That final call. So yeah, Overshone I think is so much ahead of him.
Mm,
I really do. I think if I can get a dominant linebacker with him and Kendricks and those guys being dominant on this defense, man, I'd love that. And you're right, Golston would help, but the train's at the station for me on that one.
Yeah, I think I'm about the same with you. It'll be fun to have 3 really good linebackers, Louisville, Kendricks, and Overshone. And then next year, this turns into the Overshone Louisville show. Damone Clark got to find he got to find something to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it'll be refreshing if Kendricks just showed up. I mean, not Kendricks, Chauncey just showed up and he was like doing something. It'll be refreshing, but yeah,
every year, ever since he's been here, I've been waiting for him. But again, I don't think it's all his fault. I think they ask him to play in, they ask him to play tackle, they ask him to do. I hope that our rookie there, Nealon doesn't go the same route. I hope they play him at a spot and let him get as good as he can at that spot.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. Bryan
Broaddus, you made this a tough show today.
Hey,
bro.
Man.
I had no fun doing this show today with you.
I put this list together in 20 minutes, man. Come on now.
My mom is not going to be too happy with you today.
Hey, look, it's fine. Hey, as long as you turn the camera off, take a deep breath, and don't take work home, you could.
Yeah, I've got my love of the star coming up after this one. Bobby's going to say, "Where's your energy?" I'm going to go, "Voch took all my energy today."
I will be listening, and I'm gonna text you like, "Hey man, your energy is I got you good."
Energy's really low today.
Go ahead.
Hey, next time you and I visit, I'll be out there in California, so we'll have a Wednesday, we'll have a Wednesday ceremony, a Thursday practice, maybe, and then another Friday practice coming up. Sure. So maybe we'll have some. Not maybe. I think we'll have some good things to kind of chop up for sure. Look forward to it.
Sure. Bryan wants to do a lot of work, so maybe it'll be like a post-practice thing. And
yeah, absolutely count. Yeah, hey, from the tennis courts, I can fire up this computer. We can talk. No problem. Maybe take some questions from our folks, our fans. Maybe we can do that one time if you want to throw that together. We can sure have some fun. Okay,
we could do a live show, and our chat can give questions and, hey Bryan, what did you see? And you can correspond with that.
Absolutely.
As needed. So that sounds good. We'll do live streams for training camp reactions with Bryan Broaddus. Follow him on his social, Bryan Broaddus. Follow me, Voch Lombardi. We're doing just fine. And we'll catch y'all next time. Crown.